Subscribe, rate, comment, share, like. Pause this podcast at any point during the show if you get to this part. And please follow this podcast, review this podcast, share this podcast. What was June 2nd? Wednesday? Mm-hmm. The Diddy verdict came out. This is the day after they couldn't come to the decision on count one, which was the racketeering, which was the charge the FBI was sure that they had locked and loaded. They came back and said they couldn't agree on it. They had agreed on all the other charges. But of course, if they can't get all 5 charges read and agreed upon, they couldn't do anything. So Diddy's defense decided that they wanted to tell them to come back in, give them instructions to keep deliberating, and let them make the decision if they want to leave and come back tomorrow. Instead of the judge ordering them, okay, I'm gonna adjourn the court today, and you guys go home. He let them make a decision. The reason their defense wanted them to make the decision because they didn't want to make it as so that you forcing their hand. So then they got to come up with something, and they all just agree to make him guilty on that charge. So it said he sent them to the back, and they asked them to keep deliberating. But he gave them the option, if you decide that you don't want to, you're done for the day, just send a note to the judge. And
they did, like a minute or something.
Yes, it felt like 30 seconds. They barely got through that door, and they had that note written already and just passed it on. Because right back. Oh, we decided to go from today. Day's over. Okay, adjourn. I said, okay, see them tomorrow. And boy, they came back. You said,
okay, see you tomorrow.
And boy, they came back the next day, and they were quick. 2 hours. And they had decided that they were only found him guilty of 2 out of the 5 charges. Mm-hmm. And the 2 charges that he got found guilty for was transporting
for prostitution.
Yeah, whatever that is. I don't understand how you transporting her for prostitution if she agreed to it, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, they paid the escort people. It was a payment transaction for goods, so that part. But it just shows that he was he getting time for being a pimp.
So
because that's all they gave, that he was a freaky boy.
So then they came back and then now after they found him not guilty of all the charges that the feds wanted him was. Now there was the question, should we let Diddy go home into sentencing? And he set a time frame for them to submit their proposals by 1:30 on Wednesday. Well, prior to that 1:30, there was 2 statements released. One from Casey and one from Jane. And they all said that we fear for our life. And
it wasn't from Jane. It was from Cassie and the stylist.
Well, they calling her Jane. That's what they calling her. They apparently are trying to say they were.
I thought it was the stylist of the front of Cassie.
Well, that's not what was on there. I thought I seen Jane.
Because Jane, that's 50 Cent baby mama.
Okay, that might have been the stylist, and I just missed that part. I'm just saying how quickly all that stuff came.
But I wouldn't think that she would have an issue because he's paying her lawyer fees.
Well,
and the rent for where she living at.
Well, that wasn't one of the reasons why the judge denied him. The judge denied that he has the means to flee. He has this and he has that, and also.
But his team was willing to give up his passport and everything.
No, the judge felt like he would. He basically said, you said it in your final testimony that your defendant is abusive. Mm-hmm. And for those reasons, you contribute to my decision, basically. No amount of money could have convinced that judge that he wouldn't cause problems when he was free. So the judge set the sentencing for October, but he also said we would see what we can do to make sentencing more quicker or faster.
And that's what they supposed to find out Tuesday?
Yeah, but I saw a letter somewhere where it looked like they sent another request for him to be released. But I'm telling you, that judge ain't hearing release. The one thing I've noticed about this judge throughout, from what I've been reading, because we can't see anything, so you either follow a reporter that's inside the courtroom, and the one thing I've been saying is this judge has been fair, and this judge has been consistent, and he also included the prior two bail denials in his decision. He said other judges in his circuit denied him bail, and this court will follow suit with the same thing. So I'm telling you, there's an aggressive collusion to make sure that man does some time. Mm-hmm. And whether he believes it or not, I got to the bottom of this letter that the feds submitted to why he shouldn't be released, and they requested 4.5 years. Subscribe, rate, comment, share, like, pause this podcast at any point during the show if you get to this part, and please follow this podcast, review this podcast, share this podcast. That they think that would be a reasonable prison term. I don't think they want him to rot away, but it got to the point where they needed to teach him a lesson. And unfortunately, he just got his butt spanked, not by his mama, but by the federal government. And they want to get him in order.
Because they weren't going to take him being able to walk out of there that same day.
They felt like Diddy was wilding for a while behind the scenes, whether we believe it or not. There was a lot of things that happened over the last 2 or 3 years that I can say something was wrong.
Well, he was.
From the Ciroc battle, he thought he just going to take that liquor from that company as a sponsored, probably what you call them? Sponsorship. You just the star face of the brand, but the brand ain't really created by you. You think you just gonna take from what they call them, the mafia people, or Italians or something like that?
Cartel.
Yeah, you messing with the wrong people, man. They need to get you in order. Somebody behind the scenes is working that situation though, because now I don't agree with nothing he did. But I'm gonna say if the statute says one thing, is weird when you hear people try to rephrase it to make it look like it's right when it still sounds like it's wrong.
Maybe because when I say his attorney was like,
because I think, like for instance, I think with any judge in that situation that saw, oh man, we spent all these resources on this case to get him for the one where we could have profited from this case and we couldn't do it, and now we gonna still hold them
because they had the wrong people. They had the wrong people testifying. Everybody, all the assistants, basically shot themselves in the foot with the situation because you had a time where they separated from working for him, and then they went back.
Yeah, that's why I say I don't think this is. I honestly don't think this is about Diddy being whatever you portray him to be, no more than just an abusive man.
He's not here for domestic violence.
Yeah, but for all that extra criminal behavior you try and put on him, I think any man that do the type of stuff that they say he was doing to women ain't that guy in real life. I promise you. That nigga ain't that guy.
That's why he do it to women and not men.
He used money to become people that he really wasn't. When you listen to it, that's all it sound like. All these dudes was just geek. It was Diddy that asked them to do something. But they did everything for a profit. Everyone profited from it. So my thing is, it's crazy that the head of the organization is going to go down. And we're not calling the organization because they didn't get it for that. But look, the reality is,
the company,
the head goes down. And everyone that he probably made sure they could survive came and snitched on him. People he entrusted. Like, make that make sense. It don't make no sense. So he's stupid for thinking that money will buy people's loyalty. That don't work for everybody. So to be honest with you, if he does 4 years, maybe he need that time. Because it's hard to take somebody who's been on top for decades and put them at the lowest that they probably ain't seen since they was in their teenage years. And you forcing them back in that situation. I wouldn't be surprised that nigga try to kill himself if he in there for 4 years. I'm telling y'all, he ain't built like that. He used rage and money and power over people. He's a manipulator. But in reality, that nigga's a sucker. And the fact that everyone in the world, right, this is things like I just be thinking about. Like, people want to celebrate. And I kind of had a feeling in my, I don't know why. When they was coming down to the verdict, I said, man, dang, yo, he got them kids, man. If he get life in prison, he got his young daughters that's becoming, right to become women and don't seem the type of man he is. But at the end of the day, he was there regardless if he was the man he was. For them. Probably in more ways than he's ever been for any woman. That true love that you have with your kids. And then they get ready to have to lose that. That's kind of where I came from as a father. But the reality is that all that extra freaky stuff that he was doing, that's different. But that's years and years of just seeing that type of behavior from other people. And you not being able to control it before it becomes a problem for you. Like, that's trauma right there.
Yeah.
That ain't some stuff just a regular man would do. I'm not letting another man rub his cum all over my body. No, I'm not doing none of that stuff. I'm not going to pay another man to pump up in my girl and give her STDs and stuff. And I say I love her. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not choking no woman I say I care about. I'm not dragging her by no head. I'm not doing none of that stuff. It sounds like he never actually had sex with this girl. He let other people hump her. Imagine a man that's having to deal with that behavior that you put to that girl. Hopefully she getting some help. Because that sounds like, oh God, that sounds crazy. The girl probably has a drug problem. She was doing all types of drugs. Mixing drugs. Pop, pop, pill, pop, pop, bang. She on her Kendrick Lamar with her pills.
It's the withdrawal.
Oh God. Good for Kid Cudi for not. Boy, it's good you got out of that before you got too deep. She would have pulled you in and you would have been an escort too.
Nah, he would have been an escort.
I ain't even get to watch this trial the way I was watching the Young Thug, just reading some of that. Dude, it takes a real man to sit in that courtroom for 8 hours and get on his fingers and be just tweeting everything they say. For, 36 weeks?
Who?
No, 13.
Who?
No, it might have been 30-some weeks.
Who was tweeting it?
Some dude on Twitter from a court press place. Like, and I get he was supplementing it by getting it back on Patreon and all the other sites, people donating. And I saw they was donating, but boy, you old fingers all tightening up. You typing on that daggone screen, you like this. Send.
Huh?
Send.
Who he sending this to?
That's all he was putting on X the whole trial. That's how I was following it every day.
Oh.
Because you couldn't do anything. If you went to Crime TV on YouTube, they just outside the court because they can't. They had some type of media restriction.
I just was reading it.
They had some media restriction that wouldn't allow you to go in federal cases and bring cameras. But boy, I would have loved to have been in there. Because I really want to see if he look as old as all the drawings said he did.
Hey, them sketches is wild.
Because if he's that gray, and he been in there almost a year.
He been gray. He just been dying.
He used multiple boxes to get that gray to go away. That ain't one box there. That's not one treatment.
No.
That is 2 to 3 or 4 treatments. And I ask you, when did he have the time to do that if he was doing freak offs for 18 hours a day? Who are you telling me?
In between.
That no. Remember, he never did nothing. He was a watcher.
Yeah, he would whack himself.
Sitting there, Beijing in his head while he was watching Casey get jammed on.
No, he was whacking himself. They said he used to whack so hard that it was like this. It was just like it would throw them off.
What is that from? We need to get a psychology person on here. I would love to have questions because that's deranged.
And watch.
That's
and it was like he
deranged.
whacked so hard that it was just like
That nigga.
I can only
That
imagine,
nigga
like,
Dingaling was broke.
how like how and then
What is that? What makes somebody want to just sit there and whack off on the girl they could be whacking in?
yo, I don't he's
Oh shoot! I wonder what he gonna do when he in Atlanta. Because Atlanta now, because of the big beautiful bill, right? Websites are required to verify your identity now, and now because Pornhub and other sites don't agree with that, they shut their website off completely to certain cities in the United States who voted for that law.
But he not in Atlanta. He California and Miami.
I think California might have been one of them.
Oh, but they said they was wanting him releasing his Miami home. I guess so he can be over there with Carisha.
Don't say that. Now, that was another baby mother. I mean,
that wasn't a baby mama. That was just his young thing he had.
That was another, but no. That was another video that circulated. It was an ex-girlfriend of Diddy's and said she feels sorry for everybody, but he didn't do that to her.
Was it Carisha?
No, that wasn't Carisha.
Who was it?
I've never seen this lady before. Google it. You'll find it. Lady states that Diddy never did this to her. Never drugged her. Never gave her any pills. Never peed on her. Never yoked on her. Never put baby oil on her. None of the jails.
He never did baby
none of
oil
that.
on her.
No warm rooms. No nothing. He never did none of that. And tell me what you find. You gonna see her? She giving it up. Well, I felt sorry for them, but that never happened to me. She looked like a never happened to me face. She like one of Mayweather's ex-girls. Yeah, that's his type. I'm sure there's many men it's other men who do that, but it's not considered what did he do. I don't know. I'm be honest with you. I don't know too many men that just want to be sitting around lathered up in baby oil. That's not.
Who is Gina? Was she Asian?
Yeah, she look Asian, but she said that never happened to me. Not me. What she do? She boxed him. She might go to what's the Taekwondo class?
She Taekwondo.
She is.
No, I'm asking you.
I was about to say, oh man, she beat the Diddy. He never had a shot with her. Babe, what's this wine we drinking?
What?
I really am tasting it now.
Mm-hmm.
I taste a little hint of strawberry shortcake. Right?
Mm-mm.
So what is it? Who would make a strawberry shortcake wine? Why would you waste your time doing that when you could just get a cake to me?
How dare she?
Babe, why you yell out?
Because this floozy was with Christopher Maurice Brown.
Well, Christopher. Well, that probably explains why she ain't taking nothing from no man.
What?
Chris probably tried it. She beat him up too. She probably was a dominatrix on Diddy. Diddy wasn't about to handle her because she was handling him. Diddy do look like one of them type of dudes that put the little thing in their mouth and get their butt spanked. She look like she's a butt spanker.
A butt spanker?
Yeah. Yeah, but so right now Diddy's in jail. And he's in jail until they come up. Either they come up with a solution before October or he's going to be sitting in there for it'll be 13 months come October. He's been in jail since September. So come October 2025.
But hold on. We want to rewind back to that Diddy part. But could it be he only do that to the mixed women? Because those are the only ones that seem to have the issue that he did it with, too.
Okay, well, Dawn went on the stands, too. She ain't talk about getting nothing done to her. She was a witness. Is what she was.
Right, but I'm saying she was a witness to the abuse and stuff and the free goes to.
How you think she feel him getting acquitted for all the big stuff? Because a lot of these people that actually went and testified said they were provoked by the FBI to come testify, not because they wanted to. And I'm not sure if Don was one of them people, so don't hold me to it. And I didn't do no background investigation either because I don't care. But it is entertaining.
I'm just saying.
What you just saying? So I can have a rebuttal.
It is what it is. He just was he was just freaky.
What was you about to say? He was a certified freak?
He just got out of hand, and drugs took a big part when I think he got to a point where he was overly using.
Yeah.
But it just seems like he did the most degrading stuff.
That's what I'm saying. He dehumanized these women.
To the mix, they're all mixed.
That's true.
Because again, Carisha ain't said enough, right? And the thoughts of like Kim and because even with J-Lo, she mixed.
Dang, yeah, he was talking to her. She ain't come out and say she got boob out, but she's another one. She's a fighter too. You seen all the movies she played in? She always playing a fighter.
She played in enough.
She played in a lot of fighting movies. That is a person who goes to work out, get her body ready for them. She's the type of person that's gonna stay ready, always be ready, and that's why that thing ended so publicly. Cause she wasn't taking that no more. She started uppercutting him.
Uppercutting?
No, uppercutting him. Uppercutting him.
You said uppercutting?
Yeah, uppercutting him.
I saw you freaky.
That's the title. Uppercutting. That is it. Uppercutting.
Because.
Oh, uppercutting. How you think you should spell uppercutting?
Like it sounds. Like the word is. UPPERCUPPIN. You want to add a G? Cupping.
Upper. Not upper. Upper. Uppercutting.
Okay, put an A instead of ER.
So EA. No, A. Upper cupping. Yep, that's what we doing. 2 P's. ING. Yep.
Cupping or cupping?
Upper cupping.
Take the G off.
Yeah, good job. You just helped with the title. Look at you doing more than just coming down here, sitting and speaking. Upper cupping. Diddy he do look like he take a upper cupping with multiple.
They said that his mama put semen in pasta.
Semen? Well, see, she voodooed her child.
It is disgusting.
All of it, yeah.
But again, it just showed he freaked out.
And let me ask you this though: where DJ Khaled been?
Sitting in the back, in the cut. Everybody been in the cut.
DJ Khaled used to be all the way out there. I mean, my algorithms would intentionally make me look at him. It's like the algorithms just said they took a throw up on DJ Khaled and just ran. I don't see none of his stuff. I'm gonna tell you, only time I see Rick Ross is if I actually go looking for him. They are really intentionally hiding people away that was extremely close to Diddy. They giving him limited access to be able to spew any thoughts that they may have. They are doing them a favor. Because I don't know too many men how many times you can not be having to address that situation. Joe Budden has to address that situation so many times over the last year. About them going to them parties. You even seen Kevin Hart on the BET Awards make a joke about it. That's addressing it because he see it. It's like, yeah, y'all saw me there. We did. When that girl head got let on fire in the tub. We was there. All was there.
Now we all was there.
We just played no role. Not one role. We was a supporting cast. That's funny right there.
No.
We're the supporting cast.
No, absolutely
We supported with our viewership. That crap was on TV, remember? It was on something I was watching. I remember saying it. Because the girl had just caught straight on fire. She threw that weave towards that heavily sprayed weave towards that daggone candle. Poof. Poof, be gone. Poof, be gone.